Good morning. Good morning, Tigers. Good morning, state champion Tigers. Congratulations. Thank you for letting me join you today. And Nick, thank you for that welcome, that introduction. So I am Richard Sherin, class of '98, long time ago. Sitting in your seats, chapel was a lot smaller. Student body was not this large. Same values, same core beliefs, men for others, same hopes and dreams, same long-term view, same questions, same wonderings. What do I do next? Am I prepared for what happens next? Do I even know what next really means? So as I reflected, what message could I bring that unifies us? In 2022, life has taken quite the turn, many challenges, but honestly, the solutions are all the same. As Nick said, I've spent the last 7 years, actually, as a high school principal, inner city Philadelphia. It's fun, it's hectic. What I learned is there are a lot of voices. There's a lot of voices. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of people who have beliefs about you. There's a lot of people who believe they know what's best for you. Parents, friends, people you never met, teachers. By the way, do not forget to say thank you to your teachers. But still, at a certain point, you, as a young man, have to make decisions on your own. So what I hope for this morning is just to share with you some of my practices in the hopes that you're able to do what you need to do, have the time you need to focus on yourself and carve out time and a pathway for your own future. As a principal, everyone has an opinion. And I realized my day was becoming consumed by everyone else. And I had to figure out, what do I control? So I started a practice every morning of reading a passage from my book. It's called Jesus Calling. So let me share with you this morning's. Every time you affirm your trust in me, you put a coin into my treasury. Thus you build up equity and preparation for days of trouble. I keep safely in my heart all trust invested in me, with interest compounded continuously. The more you trust me, the more I empower you to do so. Practice trusting me during quiet days when nothing much seems to be happening. Then when storms come, your trust, balance, will be sufficient to see you through. Store up for yourself treasure in heaven through placing your trust in me. This practice will keep you in my peace. Psalm 56, 3-4. So I read this morning, I paused, did my normal breathing exercises, reflection. What do I see from this passage for myself? And it was the notion of equity. Because your life is a verb, it's continuous. Some people make the mistake of believing one day you wake up and you're an alumni and you've got this long list of accomplishments when that couldn't be farther from the truth. Every single day is work. Every single day you are making 100 decisions that could benefit you, could be innocuous, or could be to your detriment. So when the passage reflects and mentions those quiet times, I want to encourage you to find those quiet times, create those quiet times. Jesuit High School will do a wonderful, a masterful job at coaching you, reminding you of the power of spirituality, the power of your soul. Let me add to that bank the power of legacy. So I've had a couple of spirited debates with some people about the word legacy, and I couldn't help myself. I went to the dictionary, you look at the dictionary, bunch of definitions, not interested in those. I created my own definition. And it was based on becoming a principal and all of that noise and all of those opinions. So let me share my definition of legacy. Legacy is who you continually strive to be. Your legacy is measured by what people say about you when you are not there. That's where my debate began. Someone said, how can you control what people say when you're not there? I said, precisely. You make deposits every single day. You show your character every single day. People are watching you every single day. Some people are with you, cheering for you, hoping for the best, available to guide and help. Some people are against you. Some people do not want to see you do well and will do things to prevent that. Most likely, you're going to run across people who are essentially indifferent. And so what does that mean for you, for self? What that means is find those quiet times. Find time to sit and reflect for yourself. Find time to think about who you are, who you want to be portrayed as, and think about what do you want people to say about you when you are not around. Men for others. I met Mr. Szynski back in the 3rd grade. So if I'm a 98 graduate, we're talking 1990. We might be talking 1990. Long time ago. I met Charles Leonard here at Jesuit, class of 98 grad. Met him in 94. Met Mrs. Pacheco. She was my honors chemistry teacher back in 97, junior year. And as I continue to go day by day, as I continue to grow up, as I stand here now, I can reflect. I can see those days. I can remember those days. I can remember entering Jesuit High School's campus at 14. And this is a true story. I graduated 8th grade. I was happy, relatively popular. But the summer between 8th and 9th grade, I had this epiphany. I said, you know what? No one at this place knows who I am. I can be whoever I want to be. I can be a jerk. I can be a nice guy. I can be a hilarious guy. I can try to be an athlete. I can be a scholar. I can be whoever I want to be. But I realized it was my choice. I realized that no matter what or who I become, I will not be able to look back and blame someone else 4 years later for the opinions of me, for who I graduate as, for my accomplishments, for any of my failures. I realized that it was on me. I was very fortunate. Had my mother and father. My mom's in the back. I basically bring my mother with me everywhere. Anything important. First day as a principal, my mom was there. Flew her up to Philly. Come to Jesuit to do a speech. My mom, my niece, and my nephew are here. I want them to be here to see. First day as a teacher, I'm on the phone with my mom. That was my grounding. My family was my reminder of who I wanted to be, who I wanted to become, the things I wanted people to say about me when I wasn't around. I got to see that in action as a principal. As I said, everyone has an opinion on you when you are the principal. Everyone has a conversation about you when you're not around as a principal. So my litmus test was, what information? What are those stories? What's my legacy? Now that I'm no longer principal of School of the Future in Philadelphia, my test is phone calls, text messages, emails, gratitude, thank yous, families. My phone just buzzed. I'm confident that's someone from Philadelphia right now. I was on the phone with them all day yesterday. Those are my results. That's the legacy I left behind. People who love me, people who care, people who still need me, people who still seek advice, people who still hope I come back to Philadelphia and retake the principal's chair. But that was all deliberate. It was purposeful. That legacy was built in my quiet moments, morning times, evening times, taking a walk at lunch. Build your legacy. Do not think your legacy just happens. Do not believe one day you're an alumni and you're standing up. Believe that every single day, every single decision you make is critical, super critical. Trust yourself. Trust the values you've learned at home. Trust the values you've learned here at Jesuit High School. If we had more time, I'd be a little more interactive. I'd make you think. I'd make you answer the question, what does it mean to you when you hear men for others? Because I can tell you, I walked out of here with a great GPA, scholarships, a bowling championship. By the way, the first one, Hillsborough County bowling, 1998. It was a great year. Band, I was the band president for 2 years in a row. Only time it happened, junior and senior year, was band president. Played the piano, played every single drum in the drum line, played at every football game. I loved my time here, but I did not take my time here for granted. I did not wake up arbitrarily, go through my day. Every day was with purpose, was with thoughts about what happens next, who I want to become. Quick story. I went to MIT in 1998. I just knew chemical engineering was it. That was my future. I was going to be a chemical engineer. I did my entire freshman year in chemical engineering. I got to the summertime. I lived in Cincinnati. City of Cincinnati needed volunteers for their schools. They had failing schools. Specifically, failing schools that were failing black children. Specifically, failing schools that were failing black children and failing black boys. Men for others. Instantly, I dropped everything. I volunteered every Saturday as a 17, then turned 18-year-old with an internship at Procter & Gamble, largest paycheck I've ever seen in my life. I did that, but I volunteered every Saturday. Those quiet times, those quiet reflective times here at Jesuit let me know that men for others was much more important than a paycheck. I volunteered every Saturday in education, and I never looked back. I did 4 years at MIT, have a chemical engineering degree, and I taught every summer. SAT prep, 11th graders, 9th graders, middle schoolers, residential advisor, whatever I could do. Because with all of the knowledge, all of the dreams, all of the hopes, everything I had planned, God, of course, will let you know. Sometimes your plan is good, sometimes your plan's not good enough. My voice took over, men for others. I wanted to build my legacy. I wanted to create a legacy. I wanted to leave a legacy. 20 years later, here I am. I still have that same chemical engineering degree, have all my accolades from Jesuit, from MIT, University of Maryland, Johns Hopkins. I've been to some of the best institutions out there. I've traded intellect with some of the most intelligent people I've ever seen in my life. I've loved every second of it. But at my core remained one mantra: men for others. No matter whether I was teaching science, being the principal, having to encourage, having to suspend, every decision I made was made through the lens of what legacy I wanted to leave behind. So I challenge you. I challenge all of you. Students, adults, administrators, teachers, I challenge all of you. How much time do you spend thinking about your legacy? How much time do you spend thinking about every decision you make and how that not only affects you, but the person next to you, the person behind you, the people you live with, and the people you haven't even met yet? Because trust me, just like when I was sitting here and I had no idea of the thousands of families, children, relatives that would eventually become a part of my legacy, there are hundreds, there are thousands of people you haven't met yet whose life is going to be severely influenced by you, by the decisions you make right now, and by who it is you become as you continue to grow and develop. I want to say thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for your ears. Thank you for listening. As a principal, I can't help myself. I can see who's listening, whose eyes are closed. That cell phone that rang 3 times. I would be in full-blown principal mode if I were still principal. But mostly I'm just looking to see what's going on in your eyes. Because no matter what it is I say, no matter what your teachers say, no matter what your family says, no matter what anyone says, it is going to be your own decision making. It is going to be the choices you make that turns you into the person you become that will heavily influence the legacy you leave behind. So I just leave you with that challenge. Find some time today, tomorrow, whenever. Think about yourself. Project into the future. My mom always used to say, you don't need to be a fortune teller to know the future. Dig in, figure out who do you want to become and what do you want people to say about you when you are not there. I want to close with a prayer. Dear God, thank you. Life has become something we were all not exactly prepared for, but we know that through your wisdom, through your strength, all things are possible. And so at this time when we need so much. We need safety. We need wisdom. We need the confidence. I want to pause and say thank you for everything that you've already given us. Thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you for putting us all in a position that we can all wear the Jesuit name on our chest. And thank you for each other. Because through our 4 years here and continuing through our lives, it is through you that our legacies will be built and stewarded. And the influence that we will have over other people is through you. In God's name, amen. Thank you all for your time. I have the great fortune of being here today. And so if I see you on campus, you can yell out, hey, 98, or Richard, Mr. Sherin, Chief. All of those are names that I've gone by, but it's great to see you. Thank you all for having me, and I'll see you on campus.